the most beautiful speedway stadium in the world. My name is Marcin Usual. I'll be your commentator for today and for tomorrow. And today is the day we're going to see some action as we're facing the qualifiers for 250cc. That's one group of 23 riders. We're going to see them from 9 a.m. till noon. It is 9 a.m. in Poland right now, so schedule your clocks. So we're also going to see some action today later on, as we will be seeing two groups of qualifying for 500cc. That's at 1:30 p.m. Central Eastern Time. And the second group will start at 5:30 p.m. We will be covering everything in English. So thank you for joining us. Please let us know where you're watching this, what part of the world you're watching this. There is 19 nations, 70 riders from 4 continents all over the world, just pure speedway talent. I'm looking forward to seeing some action on the track. This is day 3, like I mentioned. The camp actually started on Sunday with the meeting of Apator Toruń and Stal Gorzów, and let me just tell you, that was one of the most beautiful games this season. Some great action from Robert Lambert and Bartosz Zmarzlik. And that was definitely a good day to visit Toruń and Moto Arena to witness some great speedway. Then on Monday we started the actual Speedway Ekstraliga Camp. There was already some practice amongst all 3 categories: 125cc, 250 and 500cc. The riders already got some practice on Monday. There wasn't any action on the track, as they were just mostly practicing yesterday. They were practicing under an eye of Rafał Dobrucki, Polish national team coach, and there were already some progress, and there was already some action on the track. Right now we'll be seeing 23 riders, like I mentioned, in 250cc. We're getting ready to hit number 1, and there will be 4 riders from Sweden, Finland, Hungary, and Sweden. Again, like I said, there's 19 nations from all over the world, including Australia, Argentina, United States of America, Finland, Estonia, Hungary, Germany, and Poland, obviously, as well, just to name a few. And like I said before, this is just qualifying stage. We'll be seeing the finals, Final B and Final A tomorrow for 250cc, and later on in the day, we'll be witnessing some action in 500cc category. All of the riders already got a chance to meet with Tomasz Golob, 2010 Polish world champion in Speedway. Bartosz Zmarzlik, a 2-time world champion, was also here on Monday yesterday. The young riders also got an opportunity to work with sports psychologist Julia Homska. Definitely some great advice and definitely some good times to learn Speedway. But this is the showtime showcase for everyone in heat number 1. We're going to see 23 riders. They will all start in 4 heats, which means they will face 13 rivals, some of them less, because some of the heats will include only 3 or 2 riders. Now, based on their points in 4 starts, they will qualify for Final B or Final A. Dante Johansson in helmets, red helmet on first gate, then on the right hand side. From Finland, rider with number 9, that's Otto Rak, with number 12, and Schulter Thomas, 6, yellow, that's Anton Jansson. Looks like Dante Johansson had some either mechanical failure or he was just not doing very well in the first quarter, but we're definitely seeing some actions in the front as Rak and Jansson are battling for the first place. That's a wrap for heat number 1, the first heat of 26 in the category of 250cc. Like I said, there will be 26 heats, 23 riders will start in 4 rounds, and based on their points, they will qualify for tomorrow's final. A good start for Anton Jansson, definitely some great action on the track, on that back straight where he moved towards the front. 3 points for him, 2 points for Zoltan Lovas, 1 point for Finnish rider, that's Otarak, and unfortunately 0 for Dante Johansson in heat number 1, and we're getting ready to heat number 2. 4 more riders, actually 3, as we'll be seeing empty gate number 4, no one in yellow helmet, but the 3 riders will be Alexander Bengtsson, that's a Swedish 14-year-old rider from Avesta. He's right now on our screens in red helmet. On his right hand side, blue helmet rider, that's Timo Videra from Germany. And the third rider for heat number 2 will be rider with number 25, the only Brit in 250cc, that's William Kearns from Great Britain, a 13-year-old, the youngest rider in that category. Would you look at the lead of William Kearns in heat number 2? That's a youngest rider, like I said. He celebrated his birthday just 2 weeks ago. He came here from Great Britain, got an opportunity to race in Czech Republic, then in Poland in Częstochowa, an awesome track as well. Now he's here and he's starting with a 3 for him, 2 points for Videra and 1 point for Swede Bengtsson.
kwalifikacjach na starcie mamy 23 zawodników specjalnego zawodnika i 26 wyścigów przed nami. To skutkuje tym, że niektórzy zawodnicy jadą częściej.
As I understand it, it might be a little bit confusing. It is just really difficult to find the right formula for 23 riders. That is why it's kind of unusual to see 23 riders in a tournament. The top 16 will qualify for a Final A, and the last 10 or actually 7 riders will perform tomorrow in Final B. So it is definitely important to score great points right off the start. Great start for William Kearns and Anton Jansson so far. 3 points on their account so far. And we're getting ready to heat number 3, 4 riders this time. heat number 3, and we're seeing on our screens who is going to perform in the third heat of the day. That is a rider with number 11. That's Lester Mathiansen from Germany. On his right hand side, a very young, great talent from Denmark, Mikkel Andersen. He's in blue. And then number 8, white helmet, Fridolin Svidas from Estonia, all the way from Estonia. And then the yellow helmet, that's Dante Johansson. We've seen him already in heat number 1. Unfortunately, don't get it scored. Well, let's look at this time, maybe. Fantastic start from Mikkel Andersen, 3 points for him in heat number 3. And would you look at the lead he had in front of a second rider in that heat, that's Vidas from Estonia, 2 points for him. Third in that hit, scoring his first points for the day, that's German Lester Mathiansen with 1 point, and unfortunately another 0 for Dante Johansson, and we're getting ready to heat number 4. Wojciech Sachl had a little bit of issues getting that bike ready for heat number 4. That's him in blue helmet. He's getting ready on gate number 2. A 14-year-old from Czech Republic, Wojciech Sachl, he's in blue. We're also waiting for another rider in a red helmet. That would be Damir Svilmino from Latvia. I can't see him getting ready, and I already see the gate is closed, so we will be starting heat number 4 with 3 riders included. Sebastian Mæland from Denmark in white helmet, and also another Swede with yellow helmet. That's number 15, Alexander Bengström from Sweden. We've already seen him in number 2. He scored 1 point. Let's get ready for heat number 4. Red helmet excluded. We can see it right now on the right hand side of the screen. Let's go. Heat number 4. Great battle between Wojciech Sach from Czech Republic and a second in heat number 4 was Danish Sebastian Mayland, definitely pushing there for the first place. He didn't manage to score a 3, but a great battle for sure it was. 1 point for Bengtsson in heat number 4 as he finished on the 3rd place, and unfortunately Damian Fiminovs did not manage to get to the tapes on time. Now, I do like to mention that if you'd like to fill the program yourself, it is available for free on Speedway Ekstraliga website. That's extraliga.pl, speedwayekstraliga.pl. Ekstraliga spelled with Iki, S-T-R-A-L-A-G-I. Speedway Ekstraliga, that's a Polish top league, top division, who's also the organizer of Speedway Ekstraliga Camp 2022. That's the first edition of that camp ever, and it is already a great success, let me tell you that. I've seen what I've seen in the last 2 days. This is definitely great stuff for those young riders who are just getting ready to fight for the title, but this is not necessarily about the rivalry. It is about getting some practice. It is about learning some great experience. On Monday with Bartosz Zmarzlik and Martin Vaculik, top Polish and top Slovakian riders, giving their advice to young riders. Just an amazing scene I saw on Monday when Martin Vaculik was helping young Alex Acuna from Argentina. This is definitely something you want to be part of when you're 15 or 16 or 17 years old, and top level riders from the Grand Prix series are giving you advice and helping you with your bike setup. This is also the shortest track in Ekstraliga, 220 meters almost. So that's quite short for Polish standards. Usually the tracks in Poland vary between 320 and 380 meters. This is definitely different in some other countries where we're seeing a little bit of longer tracks, but shorter as well. That's definitely a great way to learn Polish tracks, as Motorina Toruń is a pretty simple track to ride. Like as you've seen, some riders already don't have any problems in the corners and gaining some speed on the backs. It is pretty hot today in Toruń, 26 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit if you're watching us in the United States of America. Definitely gonna get hotter, almost 30 degrees today. That is definitely gonna have an impact on the conditions of the track as well as the bike setups, but some riders will do better in that heat, some obviously unfortunately not. And we're getting ready to heat number 5. Zoltan Novas, that's a rider in red, he already performed the first start of the day, 2 points for him in the first series of starts. Adam Bednar, number 3, that's a blue helmet rider, the guy we've seen before. Szymon Ludwiczak, that's a Polish rider in a white helmet, first start for him. And then in yellow in heat number 5, Mikkel Andersen, the guy who already won. He scored 3 points in heat number 3. Second winner of the day for Andersen. Great job for him. Great job of Adam Bednar pushing and following him, keeping up with the Dane, but finally 2 points for Bednar. Zoltan Lovas did not score in that heat, although he did score 2 points in his first appearance of the night and 1 point for the first appearance of the night. Szymon Ludwiczak.
63.1. Na niebiesie 6. Teraz czerwony William Carlos, niebieski Jansen, biały Carlos Sabas, żółty Wojtek Szacher, finały 6 William Carlos, in blue niebieski white Carlos Sabas, yellow Wojtek Szacher.
Wojciech Sach having difficulties starting his bike again. Let me just remind you that he scored 3 points in his first appearance, and he also had some issues to get to the tapes, but well, he finally done it. He managed to score a 3, and he will battle William Kearns, who also won his first appearance of the day. If he makes it to the tapes on time, we'll see a little bit of a struggle for a young Czech rider. Looks like he's giving up on the start in heat number 6. Very unlucky of the Czech, especially that he scored 2 points in the first heat of the night. And then we're also seeing in blue helmet Carlos Sabas from Estonia. Carlos Sabas just finishing heat number 6 right now with 1 point. Congratulations to the young fellow from Estonia. 1 point for him. 2 points for William Kearns in the red helmet. Then Wojciech Sakal makes it to the start. Gets 3 points. Takes up really well off the tapes. And then he's just gaining the momentum, gaining the speed to win the second heat of the day. Exclusion for the blue helmet rider. That is a Mika Finn Janssen from Germany. Very unlucky of a young German. No points for him in the very first start of the day for a young German. And looks like we're having a short break with some grading off the track. Yesterday, the national coach of Polish Speedway team, Rafał Dobrucki, said that he was actually impressed. He had some concerns about the track as they were practicing on Monday and Tuesday all day since morning till night. And then the track was behaving really, really well with the maintenance that we're seeing right now. And we'll hopefully see some more actions after a short break. 6 out of 26 heats of the qualifying session for Speedway Ekstraliga Camp 2022 in 250cc category are already behind us. Like I said before, 16 best riders of today's qualifying group will make it to final 8. We'll broadcast it tomorrow as well. That is going to be at 10:30 a.m. Central Eastern Time tomorrow on our YouTube channel. And then the rest of the riders, that will be 7 of them, who unfortunately don't make it to Final A, will appear in Final B. That's a little bit earlier, at 9 a.m. in the morning. Later on today, we'll be broadcasting at 1:30 the first qualifying group of 500 cc's. And at 5:30, the second group. The final of 500 cc's is tomorrow at 4:30. There's also a practice session today at 10 a.m. for 125cc. Unfortunately, we're not broadcasting it as it is on a different stadium, also in Torun, but a few kilometers away from beautiful Motor Arena. It is a smaller track, of course. There are, of course, smaller bikes. And like I mentioned before, if you wish to follow this with your own program for the day or any other competition on the Speedway Ekstraliga Camp, you may download it for free on Speedway Ekstraliga app or Speedway Ekstraliga website. It is available in English, so go ahead and make sure you follow the competition as well as we go, as we're getting ready to heat number 7. And we're seeing general standings after the first round of starts. Some riders started in one heat, others did not start at all in any of the heats as far, but Mikael Andersen is on top with 2 wins of the day. Wojciech Sachle equally well with 6 points on his account. We've definitely seen some great talent and some great riding and racing here in Torun already, and we're looking forward to more. We're also looking to the first starts of Patrick Hyek, Niklas Estlinger, as well as Kacper Zimmermann. yesterday on day 2 of Speedway Ekstraliga Camp, all of the riders, besides the training, got an opportunity to meet with Janusz Kołodziej, second best rider in Polish Ekstraliga, as well as Leon Madsen, great Danish Speedway star, currently sitting on second place in the Grand Prix standings. Definitely some great advice and some great talks. Janusz Kołodziej mentioned a very interesting thing, that when he was younger, he had to buy newspapers, that was 20, maybe 30 years ago, to look at the pictures of Speedway riders to see their bikes setups. That's how he learned how to set up his bike. Now, this is definitely easier for those young riders, as they already got the opportunity to meet best of the best here in Poland during Speedway Ekstraliga Camp. Get some advice, see how to set up their bikes, practice with best coaches in Poland, including Rafał Dobrowski, the coach of the national team of Poland. And now we're seeing what they have to offer in the first day of competition, the qualifying session. We're ahead of heat number 7, the first start of the night for Niklas Esslinger from Germany. He's in red. Szymon Ludwiczak on his right hand side in blue. You can see white and green colors on his Kevlar. That's distance of his colors in blue. And in the yellow, Lester Mattiansen going around the outside. And we're seeing the replays of heat number 7. Definitely a great start of Szymon Ludwiczak right off the gates. Made it to the first position. Great positioning on the bike as he goes and battles those corners at Motor Arena. 3 points for him. Definitely a change for Paul. After he scored 1 point in his first appearance of the day, he has now 4 points. And right behind him, Anton Jansson was beaten for the first time of the day. 5 points for a young Swede. First point of the day also for Esslinger, young German, making 1 point in his first appearance of the day. 0, unfortunately, for Lester Mariansen. Damir Filminov's right here on our screen in yellow. He did not make it on time to the tapes in his first appearance of the day. Hopefully he will score big points right now, especially that there's only 3 riders in that heat. In blue, that is a Estonian, Carlos Sabas, and in red, Polish Rzeszów. Carlos Sabas scoring his second point of the day as he just finished heat number 7. Congratulations to David Grzeszczyk for heat number 8. That is a first 3-pointer for him of the day. Some great battling in the first 2 laps of heat number 8 between him and Firminovs. Firminovs did not make it to the start. I wonder if he's going to regret it later on, as he will battle for qualifying with 2 points and some great racing style already in heat number 8. We're seeing 2 Germans, that's in white and yellow. First start of the day for them, Patryk Hyjek in white and his compatriot with a yellow helmet, that's Kacper Aglos Zimmermann. They're both representing Germany, although they do have Polish roots. Patryk Hyjek comes from Bydgoszcz, not so far away from Toruń, where we are right now. And Kacper's parents come from Wrocław, Poland, which is also pretty close to Germany. Kacper is 14 years old, Patryk Hyjek 15, actually he speaks Polish pretty fluently, and he comes from Lipsk in Germany. They will be battling for their first points of the day. We are also going to see 2 very good riders that we've already seen so far. Anton Karlsson, he's in blue and unbeaten so far. Rider in red helmets, that's Mikael Andersen. Mikael Andersen, the son of Brian Andersen, just a 14-year-old. Brian was obviously also a speedway rider, a great talent. You can tell that he started very early on the bike, as he's performing really well today at Motor Arena. Definitely a movement there from Patryk Hyjek in white. Couldn't stop that bike from moving before the tapes went off, and that's why we're having a little bit of interruption. There is going to be a warning for Patryk, as far as I know, the referee, Arkadiusz Kalbasiński. He definitely did not miss that. And we're seeing the replays right now. The white helmet, gate number 3. Oh, he actually touched the tapes. He might be excluded from that heat. And he is indeed excluded. We're seeing that the black and white colors, that means that Patryk, unfortunately, in his first appearance of the day, will score 0 for touching the tapes. Looked like a mechanical failure of the bike. Looked like he couldn't stop it from moving. Very unlucky of a young German there. great effort there from Anton Jansson. He was in blue, pushing hard towards the last heat, towards the finish line. But it is Mikael Andersen who wins the third race of the day. He's currently sitting on 9 points, best rider so far, the table score. And congratulations to Kacper Zimmerman with 1 point for heat number 9.
Second, Anton Jansson, 2 points. Third, Kacper Zimmerman, 1 point.
Looks like Andersen had it under control, knew where his competitor was. But it sure was great speedway. Young riders, 14-year-old Andersen and 15-year-old Jansson. Wojciech Sachl, he's a rider in the red helmet on gate number 1, scoring big points so far, 3 points times 2. That's 6 for Wojciech Sachl in the first 2 appearances of the day, and he will compete against 2 riders who will debut in today's competition. That is rider number 14, Albin Sigvardsson from Sweden, actually from Gislaved, as well. He came with his father, 15-year-old from Gislaved, in white, and on his right hand side, the rider in yellow, that will be Alfons Witlander, also from Sweden. Unlucky of Witlander in the yellow. He was looking so good in that hit number 10. Unfortunately, it looked like he had a little bit of a mechanical issue on the last bend. He's scoring only 1 point, but he was keeping it real tight with Wojciech Sachl, who's actually unbeaten. Him and Andersen are the only unbeaten riders of the day so far, and unfortunately they will not compete today. That is what the schedule for today's qualifier looks like. They will only appear one more time. For Andersen, it's going to be heat number 23, and the heat after that, number 24. Wojciech Sachl will perform for the last time in the qualifying sessions, but we will be definitely seeing those 2 riders tomorrow in Final A, as they're sitting on 9 points already. How unlucky was that of Witlander? He was doing so well in his first start of the day. Only 1 point for Swede. Sigvardsson scores 2 points, caught up to his compatriot right before the finish line, and 3 points for Wojciech Sachl. Szymon Ludwiczek, the winner of heat number 11. Great job of a young Pole. Definitely changed something in his bike. After the first start of the day, he scored 1 point there. And then right after that, he won 2 of the next 2 races that he appeared in. A great job for Johansson as well. He's scoring the first point of the day. Very well done for young Swede. 2 points in heat number 11 to Zimmerman. Looking good on the bike, but Szymon Ludwiczek definitely had a great advantage over his rivals in heat number 11. Like I mentioned before, this is the very first edition of Speedway Ekstraliga Camp here in Turin. It is organized by FIM, and they were discussing, debating that since autumn of last year. This is actually a product of Ekstraliga and a new TV contract that was signed last year, 240 million Polish zlotys. That's about 55 million euros for 4 years of broadcasting Ekstraliga, the senior top division in Poland. Part of that amount of money goes towards the Speedway Ekstraliga Camp and youth development programs like Speedway Ekstraliga Camp. Poland is doing definitely well in Speedway and wants to give back part of that to young riders from all over the world. There's a few Polish riders here on Ekstraliga Camp, but like I mentioned before, 18 other nations amongst 3 categories: 125cc, 250.
2 minuty dla zawodników zawodniczy w 12. Tonight's two riders of heat number 12. W kasku czerwonym in red, Alfons Wittmann. Białym in white, Alexander Bergstrom. W żółtym, Carlos Sainz.
Three riders in heat number 12 as we're getting ready towards the start. In red, Wittlander, who was very unlucky in his first appearance of the day. We all remember that he had some engine issues or bike issues. Managed to score 1 point, but was definitely hoping for more as he was riding on the second spot, on the second place in his previous appearance. Bankstone, who will be the rider in white, and Carlos Sabas from Estonia, scoring 2 points so far. Doing great. Young fella from Estonia will be performing in the yellow helmet of Gate 4. competing for the first place in number 12, riding third place Carlos Sabas from Estonia. And the results of Heat 12 are in. Alphonse Fitlander with 3-pointer, well deserved as he had a great lead over two other riders. His compatriot riding in a white helmet, Alexander Bengtsson, scoring 2 points. Some great points from young Swede as well, 4 already on his account after 3 appearances of the day. And Carlos Sabas in third, scoring white point. You gotta give it to him. He's pretty consistent with scoring points today, as it was his third start of the day, and he has scored 3 points. It might look a little weird that some of the races, some of the heats have 4 riders, others, like heat number 13 ahead of us, have only 3, but it is based on the table sheet that we've been provided with the program for today. Like I said, 23 riders. This is a program for 26 slots for riders. It is not that some of the riders didn't make it or were planned. It is that it was the most convenient. Obviously, some riders got lucky with scoring some points based on just finishing the race on the third place without any competitor behind them, but it is good for them, definitely. And we're getting ready to heat number 13, Jansson in red, a young Swede scoring some good points. In blue, Vidas, and number 3, that will be a young Czech, Adam Bednar. We've already seen him today score 2 points in his first start of the day. Young Czech Bednar. Tremendous speedway as they're getting into the dust. Bednar is absolutely furious. He wants to get the 3-point, and he might get it as he is moving on the inside towards the finish line. The last corner of heat number 13. Young Czech gets the 3 points that he's been fighting for the 4 laps before that. Definitely disappointing for young Swede Jansson. He was in the lead for the majority of that race, but lost it in the very last corner of heat number 13. I don't know if he made a mistake going too wide into turn number 3, or if it's the track conditions that have definitely changed. We can see a lot of dust, a lot of dry surface on that second bend in turn right now. We'll be seeing some watering and grading of the track shortly. It is definitely needed. Like I said, it is very hot today, 27 degrees of Celsius already. That is pretty hot for the riders, for the engines, and for the track as well. number 13 was the last one of today for Anton Jansson. He's looking good so far. He scored 9 points in the 4 starts he made today, so definitely great, although he will be disappointed after that last heat and losing to Bednar. Heat number 14 ahead of us, as we're seeing 2 riders. That is all according to the schedule. Sebastian Malen, Mark, and then number 16, Sebastian Malens in the first spot in heat number 14, 3 points for him. He already has 5 points after 2 starts of the day, and we're seeing Janssen finishing just right now. A little bit of struggle with some of the corners, but congrats to him. The young German has scored the first 2 points of the day for him, as he was excluded in his first start of the day. That was heat number 14. We're already seeing who might make it to the final A tomorrow, who will unfortunately make it to final B. And we're seeing right now that there will be a short break for grading and watering track. We'll be back with the broadcast shortly.
Z nami 14 wyścigów, Ekstraliga Speedway Camp 2022, kwalifikacje w kategorii 250 cm3. W sumie przewidziano w tych kwalifikacjach 26 wyścigów, więc jeszcze 12 przed nami. Tabela rozpisana dla 26 zawodników, choć de facto dzisiaj na starcie stało 23 numery są puste. Na razie z kompletem punktów po 3 seriach startów Anderson i Szach. Po 9 punktów mamy jeszcze Anton Jansson, który zakończył już starty, jechał 4-krotnie i ten dorobek zapewniał awans do turnieju finałowego, a następnie czołowa 16 dzisiejszych zawodów pozostali w turnieju pocieszenia. Turniej finałowy w kategorii 250 cm3 jutro o 10:30. Turniej pocieszenia o godzinie 9.
Welcome back to the first part of our broadcast from Speedway Ekstraliga Camp. Day 3 qualifying session for 250cc is halfway through. We've already seen 14 heats of the day. Some of the riders scored some big points. We'll be seeing some more of other riders who perform maybe once or twice so far today, and they'll be battling for making it to final 8 tomorrow morning here at 10:30 at Moto Arena in Torun. Those who don't make it will appear in the final B at 9 a.m. We'll be also covering tonight's qualifying session for a little bit of a older and more experienced riders on 500cc bikes. That is going to be at 1:30 till 3:30. That's the first group of qualifying session. And then 5:30 till 7:30 Central Eastern Time, the second group of qualifying session to tomorrow's final of 500cc category. Definitely a great exposition window, a great showcase for those young talents from all over the world, 4 continents, 19 countries. Definitely a great time to be here in Torun, as we've already seen some of the presidents of Ekstraliga clubs, the top level division of Polish Speedway, looking for their future employees. Let's be honest that this is a great opportunity, and there are some great opportunities in Poland for young riders. To name a few, there is under 24 rule implemented last year, which includes riders from either Poland or another country, that every team in Poland in all divisions need to implement every season under 24, which means he can either be 16 or 24, as long as it's fine. There are 3 divisions in Poland: Ekstraliga first division, that is actually second in order, and then the second division, that is actually third in order, and the third division actually has one more rule that helps young riders from abroad. That would be a foreign junior. So for riders that are 21 and younger, one spot is reserved, or actually can be given, to a foreign junior. They can ride with other juniors in Poland in league meetings with seniors. So for example, they will get 3 starts in the night, one with just juniors with under 21 riders. If you're looking for a club in Poland, I would strongly suggest starting with Ekstraliga under 24. That is a new league implemented this year for 8 clubs in the top level division in Poland, in Ekstraliga, just for under 24 riders. We've already seen some great talents, and we've seen some riders who made it from under 24 teams to Ekstraliga, to the main competition, like Eric Brem, for example, who made his debut actually here on the stadium, as far as I remember, and then he went on a loan to Poznań, to a 3rd division, as a full-time rider. So there's definitely some great opportunities to look up. 8 clubs that are currently in Ekstraliga, they all have to implement under 24 team, which consists of 16 to 24 years old riders. They all race on 500cc on Tuesdays in Poland, mostly on Tuesdays, depending on the weather conditions and similarities like that. There are no crowds in the stand. There is no broadcast, so there is no pressure for young riders, but it is a great opportunity to learn Polish tracks that are usually slicker than, for example, in Denmark, Great Britain, or in Scandinavia. They are shorter than in countries like France, but they're also longer than in countries like United States. So there's a sweet spot in the middle for Speedway in Poland. Definitely great opportunities and many opportunities to use your talent, use your hard work, and make money. Let's be honest, that's a part of what young Speedway riders want. I know that there's been a few presidents of Ekstraliga clubs. There might have been some presidents of other lower division clubs looking for their employees for the next few seasons. Under 24 Ekstraliga is where it's at, because everyone interested in employing young riders watches that for sure, but there's obviously more chances for young riders to get their name known. For example, in European Championship just 2 weeks ago, I think in Riga, Poland won a gold medal, but we definitely seen some great riders, and if they keep up a good work and if they keep up the good attitude, I'm sure we'll be seeing them in Ekstraliga. Just 20 or 30 years ago, I was under the impression that Great Britain was where it was at, and obviously there's a huge sentiment towards British Speedway. We all love it, we've all seen it, but Poland has just simply saying, just to put it in simple terms, more money also for developing young riders and more opportunities to make sure that they get what they need most, which is racing and competing with other young riders and a little bit of seniors as well. Just look up Ekstraliga website, that's speedwayekstraliga.pl. You can go ahead, it is in English, so there's definitely a way to find information about Polish Speedway and the top level division in Poland as well. And we're getting back to the competition of 250cc qualifier. That is going to be heat number 15, and we'll be seeing two riders with 3 points on their account. That is Fridolin Vidas from Estonia, Kacper Zimmerman already scoring great points. We've seen two other riders just once today. That is Niklas Esslinger from Germany. He's going to perform in white helmet, and then in yellow, right next to the fence, a Hungarian Zoltán Lovas, who has scored just 2 points so far. Pretty well from young Hungarian. When it comes to Niklas Esslinger, just 1 point on his account. Kacper Zimmerman did some great job already, as he scored 3. Similar to Vidas in red, he also has 3 points after just 2 starts of the day. Vidas was trying really hard, went sideways after that first corner. Unfortunately, had to stop. He's not competing anymore in heat number 15. But Zimmerman is ahead of everyone. Second is Zoltán Lovas from Hungary, and Esslinger currently in the 3rd place. Definitely disappointing for Vidas. He made a great start. First corner went also pretty well, but then he made a mistake, went sideways, left the track on the inside, couldn't continue the race, unfortunately for him, and that makes it just a little bit difficult for him for the rest of the day, as he is sitting on 3 points after 3 starts. Great performance from Zimmerman. He scored 3 points in number 15. And I mentioned his roots from Wrocław, Poland. You could tell by his bike, that black, white and red colors, that resembles Maciej Janowski. Great start of Sparta Wrocław. So you can tell Kacper Zimmerman already has a favorite Speedway rider. Zoltán Lovas, also great performance from him. Young Hungarian has 4 points after 3 starts already. And Niklas Esslinger with 1 point after heat 15. That puts him on 2 points after just 2 starts of the date, and we're getting ready to heat number 16. Mailand, Witlander, Grzeszczyk and Kearns. Some great racers. Mailand, Witlander, Grzeszczyk and Kearns already scored some big points today. Kearns sitting currently on 5. He's in yellow, young Brit, the only Brit in 250cc category. Dawid Grzeszczyk appeared only once so far, but he made a 3-pointer in his first appearance of the day. when it comes to Vitlander. We all remember how unlucky he was in his first start. He was going for it too. Finally managed to get 1 point in his first start of the day, then scored 3 points. And Sebastian Mæland from Denmark, also a very good-looking young rider, good-looking on the track, obviously. Sebastian Mæland in red in hit number 16. He has 5 points so far after 2 starts, so this is definitely a battle to get to the final. Someone who's gonna win is gonna be close to making it to Final A tomorrow. That did not look well. A horrible crush between Vitlander, who made a mistake coming out of turn number 4. Touched the fence. It bounced him off towards the middle of the track. He went sideways and then got hit by Grzeszczyk, who was definitely surprised by what happened. On that straight, this is not looking well for both of the riders. This is definitely something we do not want to see with especially young riders competing. Unfortunately, we are seeing both of young riders getting some medical attention after what happened right here. We're looking at Vitlander just bouncing off that fence and then getting hit sideways by Grzeszczyk. Obviously, young Paul couldn't do much as he was very surprised coming off that turn number 4. Seeing young Swede. The start of that heat was really impressive amongst all 4 riders. Looked like Vitlander took care of Grzeszczyk in the first corner, take him into the outside. That's why Grzeszczyk was in the 4th place. Vitlander was sitting pretty well on the second one, but then he made a mistake. That fence came very quickly towards him. He was definitely surprised by that. Luckily, William Cranes, who was in the 3rd spot, a young Brit, a 13-year-old, managed to avoid a crash with Vitlander, but unfortunately, very unlucky for Grzeszczyk. That did happen to him. Sebastian Mæland was doing well right off the start, but this is not important at the moment, as we are seeing the medical attention of 2 medical teams taking care of both of the young riders. You can tell Greg Hancock, a 4-time world champion, is there on the right-hand side, right next to Vitlander. Definitely a very concerning view. As far as I know, there was no issues with any of the riders, any of the 70 riders. In those first 2 days of practices, they were all on track. They weren't competing. but this might be the most horrifying moment of Speedway Ekstraliga Camp so far. Just a terrible crash in heat number 16, and even more horrifying what we're seeing after that, as both of the riders need medical attention. I'm definitely trying to look for some good news and some good signals for the riders, but we're seeing Vitlander, a young 16-year-old Swede, being attended right now by the medical personnel and being taken to the hospital. This is definitely not looking well. David Grzeszczyk definitely also suffering, as he is laying still on the track. We're watching the replays of heat number 16 once again. Vitlander in blue, hitting the fence and then getting hit by Grzeszczyk. Absolutely terrifying crash. If you're wondering what the speed was, it is definitely hard to tell. It is a little bit of a weaker engine comparing to 500cc, obviously. With 200cc bikes, the times of laps of heats were around 65 seconds. That is a few seconds slower than the track record, so obviously not the most horrifying speed, but we need to take into account that these are only just 16-year-old riders. Alfons Vitlander leaving the track right now in the ambulance, as we're seeing it on the right hand side of the screen. It's hard to tell that I have any good news about David Grzeszczyk, but he is giving signs that he is talking to the medical personnel here on the straight, and he is being taken care of. He will most likely go to the hospital as well. This is definitely the darkest side of Speedway. It's something we do not want to see, but unfortunately, this is the part of the sport. Alphonse Wittlander, the guy who just left in the ambulance, came here with his parents. I got an opportunity to talk to them in the pits ahead of the meeting. He's 16 years old, came here for Varnamo. They were very impressed with everything that happened so far, but they will not obviously remember everything that happened today well, since that was a very nasty looking crash. Looks like one of the representatives of Polish national team was bringing just a fan for young Dawid Grzeszczyk. Maybe he needs a little bit of cooling. Looks like his leg might be broken, as there is cast being put on his right leg. We're seeing small group of parents and riders in the pits watching everything that is happening right now. As we're seeing Dawid Grzeszczyk being transported probably to the hospital in Toruń. Some of the riders are looking, some of the parents are there. Most of the riders and most of the pits are located outside of the stadium, just around 100 meters from the gates that they enter the track. So hopefully they did not see what happened here, as it did not look well for anyone who was watching. Dawid Grzeszczyk being transported to the hospital. Alphonse Wittlander on his way there. What a nasty looking crash, just two riders getting injured in one hit. That does not happen very often, and this is definitely not something we wanted to see today. You can tell the atmosphere in the pits that everyone is concerned about the health and what happened to young riders in hit 16. And we'll watch that first lap at turn number 4 of hit 16 once again. William Cranes in yellow manages to avoid Witlander, but it was definitely too late to a young Pole, David Grzeszczyk, to change the direction. He was just going in the middle of the track, but Witlander appeared out of nowhere. If there is a silver lining, and if there is a good side that we can observe right now, is that none of the riders taken to the hospital needed an emergency. They're not leaving under signal, which means that there is no direct threat to their lives or anything dangerous, but some bones might be broken, unfortunately. Looks like we'll be getting a short break. First of all, for maintenance, you can see some grading being done on the track right now. It is definitely needed. It is not only hot in Toruń, in Poland in general, but it is also hot here on this stadium because of the roof. If you look at this, this creates some sort of a warming effect for the track and for the stands. So we'll be getting some maintenance of the track right now. And we're also getting a decision from the referee that will be taking a short, maybe 20 minutes, approximately 20 minutes break, due to the fact that there have been 2 ambulances here available on the stadium in case something happened. And something did happen indeed, as we're waiting for those 2 ambulances to come back. That might take 20 minutes. The first news about both of the riders. When it comes to young Pole, David Grzeszczyk, unfortunately, looks like he had a broken bone in his leg, a broken femur, so that is going to take a while to battle, to come back, but we can keep fingers crossed. When it comes to the young Swedes, Alphonse Witlander looks like he went unconscious, and that's why the doctor made a decision to take care of him, to take him to the hospital for some further examination, making sure that nothing else happened with 16-year-old Swede. Like I said before, it is a 20-minute break approximately before we return, before we resume. the remaining 10 heats of the day, and hopefully we will not see any crashes and any more injuries for the remaining of the tournaments here at Speedway Ekstraliga Camp.
I've been helping Robert for a couple of years now. We're kind of friends, and if COVID wouldn't have come in, then I probably would have travelled with him last year and the year before, but because of the restrictions with travel, it wasn't possible. So now it's possible, and we work together. But I'm not the rider. Robert's the rider. I just try and help a little bit if I can, and maybe sometimes when he have two Polish mechanics, it's nice for him to have somebody English speaking in the pits as well. Not really a member of the team. I go to the Grand Prix and I help Robert. We talk about a lot of things with his racing and his riding and his starting, and he's a good kid, so he wants to learn. He wants to become a better speedway rider, and of course for me it's nice to be involved, and it's nice that he wants to have some input from me. Well, I'm the team manager for Oxford in the Championship League in England, but that's, I can't be so committed to that. I have a job with one of my former sponsors. I work in the travel industry. We look after some motorsport teams, high-level motorsport teams, and Speedway's a hobby, but it's my passion. It was my life, and like I said, it's nice that the young rider now still recognise the fact that I was okay as a rider, and they like to listen to some advice. It's nice to be in Torun. The last Speedway Grand Prix I raced in 2012 was in Torun, and it's good to be back here. But I'm happy to be this side of the fence and not on the track still. I will always love Speedway because it gave me, it gave my family and myself the opportunity to have a good life and to travel and meet lots of great people. So yeah, of course I love Speedway.